Before the world sang her songs, before the fashion and fame, she was just a young girl standing on the edge of an island, trying to survive the storm inside her own home. This is not just a story about Rihanna, it's a story about every soul who's ever carried pain in silence and still chose to rise. Rihanna, the light that rose from the storm. She was born Robin Rihanna Fenty in a small home in St. Michael, Barbados. To the world, her island seemed like paradise. But behind the closed doors of her childhood was chaos. Her father battled a deep addiction to alcohol, to crack cocaine. She remembers the arguments, the instability. She remembers watching her mother suffer in silence. And as the eldest, she often felt like she had to carry the weight of it all. At just 8 years old, she began suffering from intense headaches, migraines so severe, doctors feared it might be a tumor. But what she was really battling was stress, trauma, anxiety. The kind most kids don't even have words for. And when her parents' marriage finally crumbled, so did the only version of home she had ever known. She buried her pain behind a smile. She stayed quiet when it hurt. But inside, something stronger was forming. A whisper that said, "You were made for more than this." Music became her medicine. She would sing to escape, to feel free, to feel seen. At 15, she joined a schoolgirl group, and by chance, a moment that would change everything, she was introduced to American producer Evan Rogers, who immediately saw something extraordinary in her. But even then, nothing came easy. She left home, left her island, moved to America with nothing but a suitcase, a voice, and a dream. She had to prove herself again and again, to record labels, to strangers, to the world. But the hardest person to convince was herself. She once said, "Sometimes I want to cry, sometimes I want to scream, but I can't. I have to be strong." And she was, stronger than anyone knew. She turned her wounds into words, her pain into poetry, her voice into a revolution. Rihanna became more than a pop star. She became a symbol of resilience, of rebellion, of realness. Her music didn't hide the struggle, it honored it. Songs like Unfaithful, Stay, and Love on the Brain told the stories so many were afraid to share. And when fame came, the tours, the Grammys, the global spotlight, she didn't just bask in it, she used it to build, to heal, to give. The Clara Lionel Foundation, named after her grandparents, brought education to children who had none, emergency aid to communities in crisis, and a voice to causes the world too often ignores. Then came Fenty Beauty, a makeup brand that didn't just sell products, it rewrote the standard of beauty. For the first time, women of all skin tones saw themselves in the mirror, in campaigns, in celebration, because Rihanna wasn't trying to fit in. She was making room for everyone else to stand out. And when she returned home in 2021, Barbados didn't just welcome her back. They crowned her a national hero, not because she escaped her struggle, but because she turned it into a torch that now lights the way for others. This is Rihanna. Not just a billionaire, not just a fashion icon, not just a voice, but a fighter, a phoenix, a force. Her story isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance, about showing up, standing tall, and becoming everything they said you couldn't be. And her journey? It's your reminder. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are the power to rise again and again. So speak, shine, and keep going. If this story stirred something inside you, don't let it stop here. Share, subscribe, let someone else feel this fire too. Your story isn't over. Your voice matters. And just like Rihanna, you are more powerful than your circumstances. You are the storm and the light that rises from it.